I am going to use Walmart to read the future. And if you think I lost it, I'm not kidding, man. So let me tell you what I'm talking about. So about 2 weeks ago, Hilo was being interviewed by Walmart. Yeah, you heard that right, gamer. Yes, Walmart. And in that interview, a lot of questions were asked regarding the future of Tower Heroes. So what I decided to do was gather them all together and sort of create like a future roadmap for you guys. Please note that this roadmap isn't going to be entirely accurate, as some things are subject to change or it could be scrapped altogether. Also, the particular order in which you see the roadmap is the order of the questions that were asked. So this means that a particular point in the map won't come before or after another point in the map. So finally, with all that said, we can peer into the Walmart future. So this first question was an open-ended question, and it was, what are your plans for the future? And Hilo basically read this as future plans for updates. He answered that there shall be more of a focus on normal updates, as he notes that people are getting a little tired of the events, which is great, man, because I totally agree. I love the events, but I'm getting a little fatigued from them, and I would love more regular updates to come out. Also, it does feel like raid mode has been ignored, like for a while. I can't even remember the last time we got a raid mode map. Granted, I don't like raid mode, but it is a good mode to have, you know? And another thing too is that I would like to see more chances for map submissions to get in, but that might just be a little bit of a stretch. But nevertheless, I still want to see that. Speaking of maps, Hilo did mention that several maps, keep in mind, maps, plural, have been made for a while. That will eventually get out. So the way I read this is that they want more regular maps focused for this year, because a lot of those maps that he mentioned are probably in the back burner, just kind of waiting to be released. So this is good, man. This is really, really good. Can't wait to see more regular updates. The second question that was asked was, will there be any hero changes? So you guys kind of already know this, but Beatrice is getting a complete overhaul in both design as well as tower function. Hilo apparently doesn't like how the tower works as well as how it looks. So we can expect Beatrice to be completely different than how she is now. I wonder why. Oh, something else that he added was that Honeycomb Heist is getting a revamp. Again, a lot of you already knew this was coming, but this just gives assurance that it's going to happen. It's also worth mentioning that 20 minutes into the interview, a person did ask if Beatrice will look anything like her original scrapped idea. And Hilo basically answered no. So at least we know what she won't look like or act like. So the next question was, are there any plans for more future collabs? And Hilo did say that there is another collab in the works. He didn't really specify the game at all, but there is things in the works. So we could pretty much guarantee a future collab. With what game, we have no idea. But the collabs are really good in Tower Heroes. So this next one is going to be phenomenal. I mean, the Doors one, granted, I wasn't there for the beginning of Doors, but I heard it was really good, man. So I'm expecting bigger things or something of equal stature. But even if it's less than Doors, still, they're fun, they're awesome, they're interesting. I like them. Now, this other question is very interesting. So the person asked, what's happening with Hallway? So in case you don't know, Hallway is a game that reveals a bit of lore to the Pixelbit universe, and in particular, Tower Heroes. So there's this bunny named Tryu that gets teleported into the Chaos Kingdom by Jester, and his goal is to escape by the same person who teleported him in there. So Jester basically goes crazy and tries to kill Tryu, but fails. Eventually, Tryu gets beamed up into a portal, and that's pretty much the end of the game. Now, that's a rough summary, and there's minor little details in there that if I were to go over, it would take me like a whole nother video, to be honest. But at the end of the game, it was interpreted in different ways, that Tryu was teleported back home, or he went to a different world and so forth. But it seems now it's confirmed that Tryu basically teleported to a different world, and Hilo did say that a second Hallways game is in the works, and he hinted that it could be related to Destiny's Dawn. I mean, hey, dude, I will always welcome Tower Heroes lore, because I feel like we get none of it, and this game series gives me some, and at the same time, it keeps things vague, so it's open to interpretation. I like that. I like that a lot. Next question was, will there be Greek/Norse mythology map added into the game? So Hilo said that Spookiner or Spookineer, I don't know how to pronounce his name, Spook is working on something that might pique our interest. So to me, this confirms that we're getting a map that will look something like from Mythology, but probably won't be exactly Greek or Norse. But you know what? Hey, I'm looking forward to a Mythology map. That's great. Okay, this next question isn't really that exciting to the roadmap, but nevertheless, the person asks, will there be more game passes similar to the April Fool's one? So, in case you don't know what he's talking about, there's this game pass that costs 1,000 Robux that will give you the previous April Fool's skins, such as Gun Wizard or the Hero Battle skin. And Hilo said that there is going to be a lore skin pass eventually, but other skins like Spider Stella or Rain and others might not return. Now, the keyword there is might, and I think I know why he says that because, well, you already released Gun Wizard. He's a rare skin, right? Now, granted, I don't know how rare he is compared to the others, but nevertheless, I think he's rare. And you could buy him for 1,000 Robux now. So why not release the other ones, you know? And another thing is characters like Stella, they're so stretched thin on skins. They barely have anything, you know? So having another one up for sale is not a bad idea. So me personally, I wouldn't mind if those skins went back on sale, but regardless, I just think arguments for rarity just don't work. Next question, will scrapped content ever make a comeback? And Hilo responded with yes. And that in particular, there's a scrapped idea coming very soon. So if anything, this should be the first thing we should see upcoming. I don't know if it's related to the part 2 Easter update or if it's for the update after that, but something else to note is that he mentioned scrapped ideas, right? Plural. So there's more than one scrapped idea making a comeback, which is neat, man. I don't know. Can we get female chef? I don't know, man. All right, this next question is my favorite, but it has an answer that I just really did not like, man. And it was about map submissions. So according to Hilo, there's some maps that he has been looking into that he found to be decent. I don't like that word, decent. And so they've considered adding that, which sounds great on the surface, but he follows it up with he doesn't know if they'll get in, which leaves me with the question of like, how do they not know if the map will get in or not? Who's the person that says yes or no to these things? Dude, I remember back then, there were a lot more map submissions, and it was so much to the point where I thought I was never going to run out of map submission videos. But after a while, people noticed that like their maps just weren't going to make it in, even if it was made like really well. I can't tell you the amount of times I saw in people's map description say with a pitiful description of, I know this won't make it in, which is like so sad, man. I sometimes think either the bar is just too high, which don't get me wrong, look, I like high standards, but there is such a thing as too high, or the standards simply are just too vague. You know, and in that case, I think the map kit can use an update. That way people know to create things that fit with what the developers are looking for. I genuinely think that if the developers of Tower Heroes want an easier workload, they should at the very least give people ideas on what to look for so we can get more content at the end of the day. And the same goes for skins too. Like I can't remember the last time we had a skin contest. Overall, it feels like the content went up, but the community went down. Like we really need to balance things out, man, and not just focus in on the art, you know? All right, with that rant out of the way, next question. So the next thing Hilo mentioned was a skin crate. Yep. We're getting another future skin crate. We don't know when it'll release, but it's confirmed at this point. I'm very excited for this one because their skills of creating has gotten way better. You can literally see the difference between the marble crate and the other ones. Like the legendaries in that crate just feel very mythic level compared to the others. And of course, the mythics within the marble crate just feel well beyond that. So I cannot wait to see how much better this future crate will be compared to the marble crate. Like I have real high expectations for it. Cannot wait. So the next question that was asked is if there will be a mimic skin for adventure mode. So Hilo said that there's 2 people within his inner circle that want it to happen, but currently it's more expected that the answer to this is a no, because Smelly isn't really satisfied with how adventure mode turned out, which is fair because when I saw adventure mode for the first time, I thought it was going to be Tower Heroes lore, or at least simple lore about the heroes and their background and how they came to be, you know? But no, instead it's just a map building randomizer thing. So if they do figure it out, and they have plans for how adventure mode should be, and it turns out to be good, then I would say that there's a probability of an adventure mode mimic, but right now it's looking iffy. All right, finally, the last question. Now, the thing is, this question isn't related to the roadmap, but it's the one I'm the most excited for. So at the end of the interview, the interviewer Brandon, he asked Hilo like in a joking but pleading manner for a part 2, and hey, Hilo agreed to it. And the reason why I'm excited is because this can be a second chance for people to ask really good questions about the future of Tower Heroes. Like, for example, will we see new modes, or even ask the same question in the previous interview so we could get more elaboration, like what's the standard for map submissions and how can we get these maps to have better chances of making it in, and so forth. But these are just rough ideas, but nonetheless, I'm sure you guys can think of better. But yeah, I cannot wait for I cannot wait for part 2 of Walmart predicting the future of Tower Heroes. I cannot wait, man. Speaking of, you know, I think it would be really nice if Pixelbit did something like this like every few months, you know? It could build more community and we could get more insight, as well as like build up hype for future updates or even different games that Pixelbit Studio offers. Like, I would really like something like that. The Walmart interview was great, you know? Granted, some questions that were asked were like mundane or sometimes just outright dumb, but if we can get like the right questions pushed, then the interview will be phenomenal. So you guys could think of your own. I don't know when the next interview will take place, so think of your own questions, right? And just get ready for a part 2. So look forward to that. All right, well, and there you have it, man. That's the whole roadmap. So I hope you enjoyed. I cannot wait for these future updates. And hey, you know, when the Walmart part 2 comes out, the Walmart part 2, bruh, when the Walmart interview comes out again, I will update the roadmap or even make a second one. So yeah, and with that, I'll be calling it here. Goodbye.